It's been discussed for a long time, the experience and implications of a person watching pornography, addiction, the effects on sex drive, the clouding of expectations of a true sexual experience. But what does it look like for the person behind the screen?
Yeah, I mean, in Nevada specifically, a lot of the students are, there was actually a great book written by Dr. Sarah Blythe about sex work in Nevada. And a lot of students partake in sex work while they're in the university as a way to pay for university, right? So it's a way to pay their tuition. So sites like Sugar Daddy or escort sites allow some women to participate in like these services, and then some of them realize that they actually can make more money through OnlyFans. So then if they can keep themselves anonymous, like obviously the more you show, the more you get paid, but some of them have figured out that they can actually like fit into niche markets and get paid for that, right? So for example, I had a student who disclosed in a class that they were very particularly, that they had an OnlyFans page, but they only focused on hands. So they would do stuff with their hands and get paid for that.
Seeking a perspective from someone inside the industry, I've recently made contact with a university student who does porn. The subject uses Chaturbate, a live streaming and interactive porn website. As she prefers to remain anonymous, footage of the person herself would be limited to the shoulders and lap, and her voice will be modulated.
Almost a year now. I started last wintermester in like January, I think. I started doing porn to pay for my school and all the bills I have. Because it's all done by myself. I don't have to like involve anybody else, and all of the money I make is strictly mine. Like CB doesn't take a portion of that, and it's not taxed. So to start it, you have to first verify that you're of age, that you're 18, and that's a bit of a lengthy process, I think. So you have to send in a photo of yourself, photo of your ID, and then if they're a little hesitant or need further verification, you have to do an interview with like the admin or something, basically like proving that you're 18, and then you're free to stream. Well, most of the tags are just kind of descriptive of me and what I know will get the most hits. So it's mainly like glasses, petite, 19, stuff like that, because the younger you are, the like hotter you are, I guess. And then I just mainly play video games or paint or play piano. And then I have a menu where they can like tip me to do other things. They can pay me in tokens. Each token is like worth a nickel, and they can just buy it through CB with like a card or whatever. And the more you tip, the more you get to see, the more, like, I guess personal I'll be with you. So, like, if you're a high tipper, like, I'm more likely to do private shows with you where it's just you and I, and, like, nobody else could spy in. There's an option, too, but I have it set off because I don't want people to spread that shit. And there's also, like, photo albums and videos they can buy with tokens, other subscriptions, like Twitch, Discord. A couple of my friends have Snapchat and stuff like that. And then there's also a link to my throne, which is like basically an Amazon wish list, but one you can't backtrack to get my address. I like it, to be honest. They're very responsive. So, like, if people record my streams and post them in other places, and I find them, I can get them taken down immediately, like copyright and stuff, because it's a huge safety risk to be posting them on other sites where my region blockers aren't on. So I can block states in the US, I can block whole countries if I really want to, and that way people can't see my streams if they're from those places, even with a VPN on. And then I can also exempt people from that. So, like if I have a moderator who I know personally, I can exempt them from the region ban so that they can still see my stuff. Well, their terms of service is very lengthy, and it's a lot of like, you cannot speak about, you know, off-site payments, meetups, if people are pushing about your real name, age, birthplace, stuff like that, they can get banned. And they can't access any personal information from your profile. Like you can show whether or not, you can even show your birthday or where you're from. I don't really see it as a bad thing, to be honest. You know, it's like, it's a means to an end, means to money. I thought it was going to kind of like make me a little bit more self-conscious, but to be honest, it gave me more self-esteem, you know? I have men on the internet tell me how beautiful I am and how certain aspects of myself they like, or like how I don't seem fake in my streams, and I like that. Like I'm very authentic. Like I don't do voices and shit. But it also gave me a lot of anxieties, because like I'm pretty proud of what I do, just because, you know, like I'm not ashamed of it. You know, it's always going to be a line of work, and I think that the people who are in this line of work don't take it, you know, easily. Well, I plan to work with teenagers, I guess, in the future. And I know that a lot of people in my profession, or my future profession, would get fired over doing pornography in the past. But I think that's wrong, because their private life is their private life. And even if it's not private, you know, that's not something that you would show the children. Like, that's just fucking, I don't understand that part. But whatever, parents are parents, I guess. But I do worry about what, like, my parents would think. But I do my best to hide that from them. But, I mean, if they find out, they find out. Positive is you become a lot more open-minded. I feel like it definitely helps you kind of mature over things that, like, you know, teenagers, young adults would kind of like shy away from. Like, nudity, don't care, to be honest. Like, I'm a very open, sex-positive person. And I think that it's very healthy for sites like Chaturbate to exist. You know, some people don't have imaginations, and that's fine. A negative is definitely, like, you have the bad viewers. Like, I've had some people get on there and just, like, destroy myself. Like, they'll sit there and pick apart everything that they see. Like, they'll compare me to other models. Some who are older, more experienced, prettier, curvier, stuff like that. And I try not to let it get to me, but sometimes, you know, like, they'll pick an insecurity of mine and, like, hook onto that, and that really sucks. Or, like, I'll have fathers who say that I look like their daughters, and it turns them on. Not even, like, stepdaughters either, like, daughters, blood. Yeah. And there's also the stalkers. I've had 2 already. My first stalker was actually, like, one of the first people who'd enter my streams. They were really cool at first. They gave me lots of money, but they were also very kind, and they helped me out a lot when I was first starting on how to, like, how things worked, what made more money, what didn't, you know, stuff like that. And so I let him become my moderator, which meant that he could kick people out, he could promote my room, and he could see like tips and like what the people who tipped said, because to the chat those are like censored. So technically only the model's supposed to see them, but moderators can too. And then he started getting really pushy, saying that I owed him things and such, and then he started lying to his friends, saying that I was his girlfriend, and then having his friends come into my streams and kind of like yell at me or, you know, degrade me for that when we weren't like that. Also, he was in high school, so that was really weird. And then he got really crazy when I told him, like, back off, please. And he bought a plane ticket to where he thought I lived, went, couldn't find me, went back home, and then I said that I was going to a Hozier concert, and he bought tickets and went, and so I couldn't go because he threatened to kill me. That sucked. Well, I blocked him from seeing anything, as well as reported his accounts and his alt accounts on CB, Instagram, Discord, Snapchat, everything. And I haven't really heard from him since, so I think it's resolved. It's been a couple months. The second one found my Snapchat, like my personal Snapchat, with all my information, school I go to, my name, all that, and threatened to send it to my streams so that everybody would know. And through that, he found my Instagram, my parents, my brother, all of that. And it was a 1 in a million chance that he could have done that, but it still happened, and that really scared me. Because, like, you know, my parents and my brother aren't as careful as I am, so, like, you can find out where they live. That was resolved. He got arrested.
How'd that happen?
I told the CB, or Chaturbate, and they have a team of lawyers specifically for, like, models who are put in danger, and about that kind of stuff, like trafficking and stalking are really big issues in the porn industry. And so they took him and took him to court for, I think, blackmail and stalking. So, whatever, it was part of the risk. For me personally, there aren't many more risks than that, just because I don't bring other people into my streams. But some of my streamer friends do. You know, like, they'll do, like, actual porn, and bring in, like, a man or a woman. And that's way riskier, because, you know, they can assault you, rape you, fucking put cameras up, steal, burglary, all that stuff. I'm not a porn enjoyer, believe it or not. I think it's very fake. There's a loss of passion and intimacy, you know, it's all very staged, and I get why, and I get that, like, you know, like, that's how you have to do it. But it doesn't really, I think it's kind of boring to me, which is why when I started streaming, like, I didn't want to be that fake person, well, besides my name, but obviously. But, like, I don't change my personality at all. I don't change my voice, nothing like that. Just to kind of, you know, show people that these are real human beings, not just, like, actors on a TV show. As long as I need to be honest, until I find a job that can support my life, you know, comfortably, as well as, like, my dog. But I don't do it as often as I used to, because I do have a job now, like an actual job. Now it's more so I do it when I need extra money, so like for Christmas or birthdays, stuff like that, or speeding tickets. Dude, that's literally why I'm doing it right now, actually, is just to pay off my speeding tickets. Well, I'm a painter and an author, and I like skateboarding, hanging out with my dog. I don't know, just kind of go to school, go to work, or I'm here when it's cold. I'm a painter and a sculptor, but right now, because of the space that I'm in, it's very limited. I mainly just paint. And it's either for school or for decoration in my house, to be honest, because it's cheaper. So I have a lot of pieces that are, you know, indicative of my personality and my interests, but I also have things that are memorials to people in my life, or, you know, something to help my depression. Like, that's kind of an outlet for me. Yep, I'm a poet, more than, like, fiction. I have written a couple fiction books, but I think poetry is more meaningful to me and also more impactful for the world, you know, because I think that it's important that people know that, you know, there's other people who are going through the same things, and it's nice to read about that. And I've had a lot of very traumatic experiences that, you know, not a lot of people can even fathom. And, you know, that really is a basis for a lot of my poetry. Can I tell you? Can I tell you? Spew out all the ugliness that spreads across my tongue as I dress in the mirror, how heavy it all feels in my eyes. Speak of the past as if I had never lived in the present, nor believe in a future. The irony of wanting more and growing less. Contradictory of loving myself and wanting nothing to do with me any longer. The tipping from the deep end to the high of emotions like a seesaw on the playground. Can I tell you just how much these tiny pills help my everything, every day? How I will miss people even before they've gone for a time. Can I tell you that my love is different depending from being to being? I never love anyone like I love my mom, but that doesn't mean I have no love to give anyone else. I hold a plethora so large that I must customize and categorize it all to fit. Say every little thought I feel like it is forcing itself out of my lips, even if it's something of no importance. I explain how I crave intimacy, but the thought of it is scarier than death to me. Sing every song on the radio because I spend every waking hour tuning in. Ask all the questions to quench my curiosity.